everybody, how you doing? And welcome to Photo Friday.
Hi.
So I guess you can see things have changed a little bit. We actually did some tests on the internet after our first live stream, and we realized that unfortunately the place that we're staying at, the internet sucks.
Well, it's not strong enough to do a smooth stream.
Yeah, actually we needed to be at around 1.6, and we're a little bit under that to be able to do a live stream. So we are still going to be coming to you here live, recorded live. But yes, we're going to be coming every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Photo Friday. And, you know, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button, and you'll get notifications of every time that we do a upload of videos. So how about we get into Photo Friday?
Yeah, so let's start this week's Photo Friday. So to start off, at the beginning of the week, we actually went to Devonian Regional Park, which is not too far from us. Easy hike in.
It was a really easy hike in, actually, and we ended up going past a I guess, what was it, would you call it, like a marsh area, right?
Yes.
It was leading to a marsh area.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool. I mean, in the middle of the waterway there was like this little green plant. Remember, there's this little green plant that we had?
Yeah,
right,
it was it was off to the left of that path that you just saw. And then further on in, there was quite a few of them there.
Yeah,
so
of it.
Yeah, so we're actually wanting to go back to see what's flowering from it, because I'm actually not too sure what that is, but it was so neat.
It looks like on this one here, it looks like there's a flower that's about to come out, like on the top of it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool, because just down from there, like Karen was saying, I think there's probably at least 15 or 20 of them.
There was quite a few.
Quite a few. So
in the center of the marshy area.
Yeah. Yeah, so that should be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So that's part of the path there. That was just before we got to the beach, I believe, wasn't it?
The beach is actually just through those trees and a slight left. You'd hang left there, and we're right down on the rocky beach.
And there we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really pretty. Where you took that panoramic picture, we were standing on that rock formation.
Yeah, we were about 12 feet up from the beach line. It was right up there. It was excellent.
It was really neat, and it was a long beach.
Yes.
And it was what, only, I don't know, 25-minute drive, I guess, from here?
Yeah, probably.
We passed through the lagoon that way, and that's how we ended up getting there.
Lagoon,
yeah.
But I thought what was really cool, though, and I actually didn't give you the footage, and I forgot all about it until just now. Remember when we were standing by the water, and we could hear the waves coming in, and it's all rock that actually extends out into the water. And what would happen is when we got a really good wave,
it was the hole.
Yeah, we
in
could
the
hear
rock.
we could hear the rocks rolling on each other.
That's right too.
And it was really cool. Yeah, we'll actually talk about that later for sure.
Yeah, that's true. So now our next venture was we went to Fairy Lake, which is about 5 miles east of Port Renfrew.
Yep, it's about 2 hours and 58 some odd minutes away from Victoria.
Yeah. It was definitely, as you can see, it was an overcast day, raining on and off. When we actually left Victoria, it was sunny.
Nice.
And then as we got closer to Port Renfrew, the weather changed, which was actually perfect weather for wanting to get pictures of what we were going there for. Yeah. We're actually almost, we're just around the bend here. We're gonna be pulling up to Fairy Lake. And the reason why we went here, we've heard and seen pictures of it. There's a small Douglas fir tree that's growing off the end of a log that's submerged in the water.
Yeah, I guess at one point in time, this tree was a part of the landscape around the actual lake. It's a huge Douglas fir, and just the angle that it's at, a portion of it is sticking up through the water, and a tree grew out of it.
Yeah,
a little teeny weeny tree.
And I think you had Googled the population of Port Renfrew is 144 people, so it's quite small. Now we're pulling up to the lake, and you'll see on your right As we get a little closer, you'll
Closer.
just see into the center there, just around the corner, you'll see
the
the bonsai tree that's in the center of the, well, not the center, near the center of the lake.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to show you some pictures of that.
So just a little bit of extra information about Port Renfrew. It's known as the tall tree capital of Canada, and also Port Renfrew is home for the Pacheedaht First Nation. Now, Pacheedaht means people of the sea foam, and they have traditional village sites in and around the main town center. The one thing that I actually found really interesting is this particular road that we're driving on. It's called the Pacific Marina Road, and it'll take you from the west side of the island to the north side of the island through the mountains. And I thought that would be, kind of cool. That's one of those trips I think that we're definitely going to make, going from one side of the island to the other.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun. So, moving forward.
And now we've got a video that we did take with our cell phone, just to give you an idea so you could see, more of the lake. And as we focus in there, that's the Douglas fir tree, which is also referred to as the Fairy Lake bonsai tree.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the thing that was really cool, when we went, there was such a drastic change in weather. Actually, when we were coming to Fairy Lake, we actually went through rain, snow.
That's right, too.
Slush, well, not freezing rain, but hail. And then we got rain again. But this was probably the best part of the day, with the actual sky opened up here, and we had a little bit of sun. It got warmer, but it was amazing. The lake itself, when this opened up, went still. There was no wind whatsoever, and we actually were able to get like a really beautiful reflection of the tree in the water, which was just phenomenal. So here, once again, it had clouded up, and the wind picked up, so we kind of lost that reflection.
You lose that smooth finish on the lake.
Definitely, yeah.
And now.
Yeah, and now it was this was perfect.
It was.
Yeah.
Now you can see the reflection from the trees. It wasn't overly sunny. It was just enough to get that proper, or that nice glow in the water.
Definitely, yeah. And we had a little bit of, here's Karen's picture, which I think is just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was pleased with this one. I used the 70 by 200 millimeter lens. This shot was taken at the 200 millimeters. The ISO was 640, and the shutter speed was 1/10 of a second, and my f-stop was at 18. By having it at 18, that way I could focus in on the tree and have the tree itself in clean, sharp focus, and then the surroundings, that bokeh effect, or the blurry, soft effect that I was able to get from the reflection on the water.
Yeah, what I thought was just what I really liked about the picture is the way that the light's actually bouncing off the top half of the tree. And just around the base of the tree, there's a little bit of light there, and then the rest is dark. You did really well with that one, babe. That's a great picture.
Why, thank you. Now this was another hike that we did.
Yes.
After, not the same day, but on another day, we went to Mount Douglas.
Yep, this is basically a 738-foot hill. They call it a hill. No, I'm not going to say what I want to say because there could be kids watching. So yeah, it's beautiful. Visually inspirational. Great place to just sit, relax, and watch the world go by. Right?
We've gone there twice now.
Yes.
This picture that was taken was on the second trip.
Yep.
That when we went the first time, we actually hiked up the hill, and then the second time we actually went there on our way back from. I think we had gone for a drive that day, and we decided, let's go up and see what it's all about, because you can actually drive up and park. There's a small parking lot, and then it's only, a 5-minute walk just to get to the top of the summit, which Bob had mentioned was 738 feet. It's beautiful.
And the thing is, truth be told, the first time that we went, we hiked basically pretty much right up to the very top. But The last, I don't know how long it was. It's longer than what I want to be out there. It was all open rock face climbing. And it's one of those things where you turn around and you look down, and it's a long MF way down, okay? And there was no way I was going out on that. Now, this little goat herder right here, she was all into it. She said, oh, yeah, come on, let's go, let's check it out. I'm going, no, man, sorry. No, I'm not doing it. So we walked all the way down, got back in the Jeep, and drove up.
Yep, that's right, too.
Yeah, I chickened out.
So this, when you're at the summit of the top, this is taking a look at the other side of the mountain, and that's the water view. And just to me, and you see a lot of pictures that people take here, is the different variation of the blues with the silhouettes of the mountains. It's just beautiful. It's really stunning. Like Bob said, it's a place to just go and sit and relax. And actually that time we ended up
You chilled.
We ended up sitting on one of the rocks and just watched the change of the clouds. And truth be told, we were waiting to see if some eagles would fly by.
Yeah, because I still haven't got my eagle picture yet.
No.
I'm still waiting. And actually, the first time that we went there, there was an eagle that landed in the tree just off to the left of where we were. I didn't bring my long lens with me. I left it in the Jeep. I went back down to the Jeep, got the lens, started walking back up the trail, just got set up to take the shot, and the eagle flew away on me.
And actually, I think it was kind of partially my fault because he had to go back to the Jeep to get my coat.
I wasn't going to say that.
No, but I did. Anyway, so we'll get that eagle picture yet.
Oh, I hope so.
So that ended our hike to, Mount Douglas. And on one of our next adventures, when we were driving to Port Alberni, we ended up driving through or along, we were on Highway 4, and to the right and left is Cathedral Grove. Now, unfortunately, right now...
Because of COVID.
Well, I'm not sure if
it is.
It is,
online. Yeah,
okay.
It is because of COVID.
It is closed right now, and they've got it fenced off where you would actually go in to park. Now, we did notice some people were parked at the side. Yeah. So what I did do is, when I was here 5 years ago with my sister... we ended up going into the forest at that time, and this is the Douglas fir tree. It is the largest tree, and it's more than, I believe, 800 years old. It's huge.
You know Janice is going to want residuals for this.
She is definitely going to want residuals for this. That's my sister there. So we ended up going, and it was raining that day, so we walked a little bit and through it. And there was also, I've got a picture of just the pathway. It's just a few pictures that I wanted to show you here. And it really is very pretty.
Yeah, I'm hoping we definitely can get a chance to get in there before we leave.
Oh, I think so, because we're going to probably go back to Port Alberni, and we have to drive past that anyway.
Yeah.
And I think Bob has something he wants to say.
Yeah, here's a little tidbit of information for all us, sci-fi geeks. Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, the shadowy canopy of the skyscraping trees, there was the actual backdrop for the Ewoks' home planet of Endor. Okay, I'm done. But it was pretty cool. Yeah, so Return of the Jedi was actually filmed there.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It is. So
now, on our way past the Cathedral Grove, we were going to what it's called Hole in the Wall. That was our initial one of our destinations for that day.
Yeah.
And we ended up going there, and this is what we wanted to show you. It is absolutely stunning.
This is basically, it's hundreds of thousands of years of erosion. And the thing that's really incredible here is what you're seeing above that, there's at least, I'm going to say another maybe 2 or 3 stories of earth, and you can see the striation marks actually where water came through that hole when it was like, I guess, an ocean or a huge river. But above that, there's actually even more earth where you can see more striation marks from water that had flowed along that riverbank. It was high up, from there out to the road, I'm assuming is where that water used to flow. So it used to be a gigantic river. That's what I find amazing. It's like Pacheedaht. When we were in Pacheedaht, the waterfalls in Pacheedaht.
Yep.
When that overflowed and filled, how high up that got.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I think the next one we've got you took a panel picture of it. Now that gives you an idea. You can see the height of it there.
Yes.
That gives you a really good representation of what we were seeing when we stood back.
Yeah. I mean, that concrete piece is probably about, it's about maybe 10, 12 feet high. That concrete piece that you're seeing there.
Yes.
And you were actually just to the right of that shooting, and I was actually just on the left side shooting. So we kind of shot from two different angles.
Yeah, yeah. Now, what we wanted to talk about today was don't be afraid to crop your images.
Yes, that's going to be today's, I guess, Photo Friday photo tip. What happened to that this year? What happened to that? You didn't get that in?
It's Photo Friday.
There we go. So, you know what? I mean, did you used to, you know,
I would never crop my images initially. No, I always thought you would be ruining the picture, but that is so far from reality as far as I'm concerned, because now as we get with when we see some of the pictures coming up, the difference in the perspective of once it's cropped is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? You can basically use cropping for a variety of different things. I mean, first off, it would be to remove something from an image that you don't really like. The next one could be for, you know, cropping for composition. So, I mean, a lot of people when they first start shooting will take their subject, stick it right in the very middle of their picture, and you know, picture's done. Well, now, once you kind of get a little bit more of an understanding, you can use what's called the rule of thirds.
Now, with this particular picture, though, you do have this pretty close to the center. I guess it comes true to some images. If you want to be drawn in, it could, in some aspects, could it not be in the center?
Yeah, it could be, of course. You know what? I mean, it comes down to really your own personal taste.
Right.
This particular shot that I did, I actually just wanted to have the right side more center than the left.
Okay.
But then when I cropped in on it, I kind of, you know, really focused in because the story I'm trying to tell is the whole.
Right.
Everything's pointing towards the whole. So the right side for me being stronger, I thought, okay, I'm going to have the right side as my focal point that's going to point towards the whole. So that's kind of me cropping for composition. So I actually cropped, moved everything just slightly over so it was a little bit more center. But sometimes we crop because, as I was saying, some people will shoot center. Sometimes it's better off not to have everything directly in the center. It's better to use the rule of thirds. So if you're not really familiar with the rule of thirds, okay, well, here we go.
There's another one. Right? Yeah, we wanted to show, I guess we've got now a couple of pictures that we wanted to show that you've actually cropped in on. And this was another angle that you actually took at a hole in the wall.
Yep.
So there it is, and now it's cropped in, and there's your different perspective right there.
Right. So I mean,
now I see it.
Yeah. So what we're really trying to do is we're trying to create an emotion with our images. That's really what it's all about. But what I was about to mention is cropping in for composition. We want to be able to use that rule of thirds to help you crop in to, I don't know, give you balance.
Or change your,
give you balance as opposed to having everything dead center.
Okay.
You can set things off to the left or to the right.
Okay.
Here, go ahead. So here's another one that we had where it was a great image of just what was surrounding the actual mountains, but the story that we're trying to tell here is the mountain peaks and the way that the wind is blowing all that snow off the mountain peaks. That's what we wanted to capture. That was the story that I wanted to try to tell.
And that's Mount Arrowsmith, I believe. Is that not right?
Yes, that is Mount Arrowsmith.
In Port Alberni.
Yes.
So now you had mentioned about the rule of thirds.
Right.
So can you explain a little bit about that?
Okay, so the rule of thirds is basically just like tic-tac-toe. Just picture that in your mind. So we have a picture of it here up on the screen. You want to basically lay your subject on one of these lines, either horizontal or vertical. You want the most important part of your photo to be lined up on one of those red dots where the lines intersect.
Okay.
So if I was shooting someone like, let's see, if I had a bird, they'll say, I might place the bird's eye right on one of those intersecting lines off to the left or to the right, depending upon which way the bird was facing, to kind of help give it a little bit more definition, and setting it off to the right or to the left helps give the eye somewhere to go to after it's looked at the subject, or gives the eye somewhere to go into the picture and over to the subject.
Okay, so if I'm shooting or taking a picture of a face, then will I place the cross section between the eyes?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
because you know what? That's something else that a lot of people do, is they'll actually take a picture of someone and they'll actually take a picture of their face and put it right dead center. That's
Right.
perfect. So yeah, taking their face and moving them over to the left or the right into one of the cross sections is a good idea. Now, most cameras now allow you to bring that grid up as a part of the function of the camera.
I have that on mine.
Right, but ours are older. We actually had to insert a viewfinder, a plastic viewfinder that had the grid on it.
Yeah, that's
So
right. We
a
did
lot
that
of
a while
the
ago.
old 5D Mark IIs didn't have that.
That's right.
A lot of the new cameras.
They have all that. They have all
have
the
that.
bells and whistles.
Oh yeah, so I mean, if anyone's out there that has a new camera and wants to understand the rule of thirds, for sure, just Google it. You'll get a better understanding what the rule of thirds is about, and it's really going to help you when you're composing your images. But if you can, definitely learn how to turn it on in your camera and utilize it, because it is definitely going to make a big difference in the way that you shoot.
Yeah. Well, all in all, as far as cropping, it was enlightening for me. It definitely,
Me too.
It gives you a better impact of your photo.
It does. When you crop into your image, you're basically trying to create an emotion, like I had mentioned before.
Right.
So you might have like the waterfall there, you're back from it, you can feel it, it looks really good, but as soon as you crop into it, you get more emotion from the piece, and that's really what we try to do, is when we take a picture, we try to instill more emotion.
That's where I got my emotion. When I took that picture that you saw earlier of the bonsai tree.
Yeah.
To me, staring at that tree, it was peaceful. It was harmony.
Yeah.
So when I cropped into it, when I looked at the image without being cropped in, it was beautiful, but it just gives you that much more, that impact when you see it up close like that.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, using the rule of thirds, learn about that. Cropping in on your image is a really good thing to do. And then there are times when you don't want to, but the majority of times,
it changes the story of your image.
Most definitely.
Yep.
Yep.
So now, after going to Hole in the Wall, we went into Port Alberni.
Get some eats.
We wanted to get some food, and we had found out that apparently Port Alberni, there was a fish and chip store that's one of the best fish and chips on the island.
Yeah.
Just to give you a little idea where Port Alberni is, it was about 2 hours, 45-minute drive from Victoria, and it sits beneath Mount Arrowsmith, and it's basically it's almost completely surrounded by mountains. It really is a quaint, beautiful little community.
It is.
There's lots of hiking and walking, and people, I guess, do mountain biking on the trails there. Obviously, lots of wildlife. The city is also is known for its fishing.
Yes.
Is what I found out. Not only that, you can see in this map the inlet that's going down from Port Alberni. The inlet is the longest inlet on the Vancouver's Island, I found out.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh.
I ended up looking that up, and you can actually, that inlet will take you right out. There's so many inlets, but that is the longest one. It'll take you right out to the open waters.
Cool.
So this is where we ended up going, and we picked up fish and chips.
Yep.
We ended up driving to this little park right by the water, and we sat at the picnic table there and had our fish and chips there.
That's me sitting at the bench.
Yeah. And again, Bare Bones Fish and Chips Limited. It was really very good.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna have to say thank you to Ray for that one.
Yeah. And this is just another photo along the waterside that what we were looking at when we were sitting there eating.
Now, when we were there, we could see Arrowsmith Mountain from where we were sitting. And Karen was actually determined to get over there to get a picture of this mountain. So as soon as I finished eating, it was like, pack up, let's get in the Jeep. Sun's going down.
Yeah,
we got to get a picture of the mountain. And I'm going, okay, fine. And we got it, started driving, and she goes, I think we need to make a left right here. I mean, we've never even been in this town before, but just instinctively, we made that left-hand turn that she wanted. And sure enough, man, it was wild when we actually got closer up towards the mountain to get the images that we got.
And that's the one that we did show you on the crop or no crop. That was your Mount Arrowsmith.
Yes.
Beautiful image.
Yeah.
It was very pretty. It was
just the lighting at that point was perfect.
It was good timing.
It really was. It wasn't too harsh. It was the golden hour, man.
Like we've seen snow-capped mountains here while we've been in Victoria and going along Dallas Road, but not like that, not that close. I mean, that was obviously zoomed in, but it was definitely a lot closer and cleaner picture. The sky was in our favor that day because it was very clear.
Yeah, I mean, visually, the mountains that we've seen on Dallas are like they're miles and miles and miles away, but these ones were. It was so much closer. It was just, it was wild.
It was
really
beautiful.
Was.
So that finished up our journey, which we did, 2 days ago, I believe, is when we went to Port Alberni.
Yep.
So we are going to be going back there again, I think. There's many more places. Now, over the past couple of weeks to a month now, we're kind of proud to say we would like to share with you some of our latest images that have been added to our online gallery and that are now available for purchase. We're going to show you a few in a few minutes now. And we wanted to thank you very much for watching our Photo Friday, and we definitely look forward to seeing you next week.
Yep.
And we hope everyone has a great week.
Stay safe, everybody. Wish you guys all the best, and bye from TOL on the road.
Bye from TOL on the road, and here we go. We're just going to show you a few of our most recent additions.